for staying on. People, I understand, go to great lengths to make other people think that they're happy and they're not.
They do. You know, one thing I often find is because I've written a book on happiness, and sometimes people look at me as if to say, "You're an expert on happiness?" And I know what they're thinking because I'm actually probably an introvert. I'm a quiet personality type. And some people confuse extroverts with happy people and introverts with unhappy people, and they are completely different things. And the problem with extroverts is that because they often are bubbly and happy and outgoing and fun and the life and soul of the party, they start to feel pressure to be that way all of the time. And if they're feeling a bit down, perhaps they're just starting, perhaps their mood's just a bit down one day and they think, oh, but I can't be down today because people like me because I'm the outgoing funny one. So I have to keep being the outgoing funny one. And so they either A, withdraw and stay in bed, as you sometimes put it, or they put on the mask and pretend to be that person even though inside they're not feeling that way. So they get worse and they keep going down.
Because their whole psyche is, I want to be liked, and if I'm happy and I make everybody laugh,
Yes.
I will be liked.
And they won't like me if they know that I'm having a bad day or that I'm a bit grumpy today or a bit sad today. And so they hide that part of themselves. And when we hide part of ourselves, we can't be happy.
Is it fair to compare that to people who are overweight, who bounce around and pretend that they are the life and soul of the party?
Often, we're not generalising here, but often that can be the case, that they feel I've got nothing going for me, so I better be fun, or I better be outgoing, or I better project what I think people will like, because I can't like this, so I'll give them something else. And so we're playing a role and we're acting, and that takes a lot of energy.
And when a person who is extroverted, they go home, that's when they crash.
They do, and if they're really crashed, they just don't go out. And you might see someone who's an extrovert, and every time you see them, they're just wonderful and happy and bouncy, and they tell you they've got depression. You think, I don't get that. How can that be? That's because you're not seeing the other part. They never let you see it.
That is a huge subject. The fact that people who are emotionally, what did you call rather than depression, emotionally?
I don't like the term mental health. I prefer emotional health.
Emotional
Yes.
health. So people who are having trouble with their emotional health, they do hide it, and that's why people say, I had no idea that
That's
they
right.
committed suicide.
That's right. And so many people don't ask for help. Like if I was depressed, I might want some company or I might not. How would you know as my friend if I didn't tell you? So one of the things I encourage people to do is to ask for help, let people know the support that's needed. Because often people say, well, what can I do to help? Or, how can I help? And if you don't tell them, how can they possibly know? So reach out, tell someone, hey, I'm feeling really low today, and then say to them, the best support you can give me is, finish that sentence.
How many people are scared witless of failure?
So many. I was telling you before about a story of a client that I was working with recently who his mood goes up and down. It was quite low, and I've been bringing it up and up and up, but he notices occasionally it still dips, and I said to him, I want you to watch for what brings it up and what makes it dip, because they're clues for us. And he noticed that when he was looking, just simply glancing at his list of work would take him absolute plummet his mood. And so I said to him, do you think that the more things on your list of things to do means more opportunities to let people down or more opportunities to fail? And he said, oh my goodness, he said, you're spot on. I think that's exactly what it is. And because if inside we think that we're not doing a good job, that we're letting people down or failing or messing up in some way, then the more we've got, the more opportunity to do that.
So it's self-doubt.
Yeah, that's one of the main contributors. If you ask me, other than unresolved emotions, if you said to me, what is the main contributor to depression, I would say beliefs about ourselves, that we're not good enough, not worthy, not deserving, not lovable.
And if you're looking at the farming industry, there's a lot of areas there where farmers can have personal self-doubt because the prices are bad, they're not topping the sale, the whatever.
Yes. The fact that the prices are bad is only a small portion of the problem. The story we tell ourselves about that is the main issue. Like, it's my fault because I should have done this or I shouldn't have done that, and I'm not good enough and it's my job to make money for my family. It's the story behind the facts that's really the issue.
So extroverts, keep an eye on them.
Yes.
because they're the ones who are going to be hiding.
If you have a loved one who is an extrovert, perhaps say to them, look, you know, you don't always have to be fun when you're around me. You don't always have to be happy, you know. I love you for who you are, and if you're having a bad day, I still love you as well. And so letting them know that it's okay for them to be not fun.
Exactly. How do you make people talk, though? I mean, seriously, I've been there, and you don't talk.
I'm pretty good at asking questions.
You are very good at asking questions, actually, Karen. But yeah, I mean, it's because, you know, if you'll sit there with somebody that you know pretty well, and you go, well, hey, listen, you know, you've gone quiet. I'm fine.
Okay.
What are your main worries? Well, I don't have any. I'm fine.
Well, one thing is this is not what I do, but you could say, well, I would imagine if I was in your situation, I'd be feeling really bad about myself. Not saying you should be, but I'd say I probably would be, or I'd be probably beating myself up right now, and sort of use yourself as an example, and they might go, oh yeah, well actually there is a bit of that. One of the things I do with people is I say to them, look, I would imagine part of you's happy and part of you's not. I'd love to talk to the part of you that's not. Be as negative as you like and tell me all the reasons why you're not happy right now.
It's probably okay to talk about finances to a mate or a friend too, isn't it? Because if that's what's getting you down, just blurt it out. You don't have to show them your books, but you can say, I can't believe it, mate. The costs of farming at the moment.
That could be a real gift, because if you want someone to open up about how they're feeling, guess what? You have to start. And if you give something of yourself, like something personal, like your financial state or how you're feeling on a not good day, if you give something of yourself, someone will want to give back. So that's how to get them to open up.
Yeah, that makes sense actually, because everybody's got financial, well not everybody, but a lot of people have got financial problems. And if you look in the farming industry, I mean, you've got all these consents that you have to fill in out so that you can be a farmer. And I mean, that's a whole different subject, but to go to your neighbour and say, hey, listen, buddy, I don't know what to do about this.
You know, you could come up with some strategies together, like on a bad day when I've got to pay all my bills and I'm feeling really, really low, let's figure out together what we could do to feel better. Like, should we get together for a beer on that day, or shall we go and play golf on that day? Look, what could we do on our bad days to lift each other up?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be with a glass in your hand, but
No.
that's quite a nice thought. Karen, thank you very much
You're
indeed,
welcome.
because, you know, if we can help one person get through their depression, I think we've achieved what we set out to do.